Evening, everyone. First of all, thanks a lot for the opportunity, RAI. Just to set a quick context, a little bit about me. My name is Kuljeet. I am one of the co-founders of Disperse. Disperse is a leading learning tech SaaS startup. Two things that we do really well. One is understanding the art of learning, and two is using the science of data to drive productivity. We service close to about 150 customers, 10 lakh users in about 40-50 countries. And if you would love to know a little bit more about us, we also have a booth here. I'll let Gulshan introduce himself, and then we can get into the fireside chat. Gulshan sir, over to you.
Thank you, Kuljeet, and namaskar, my dear fellow retailers. I am a salesman who started selling in 1986, and started as a medical representative, and then started my first shop in 1993, and have done multiple businesses in healthcare. Today I sit on board of about 3 companies, all 3 in healthcare. But primarily today, we'll discuss about Wellness Forever, which I co-founded with my fellow promoters Ashraf and Mohan about 10 years ago. And today we are about 220 store strong chain, omni-channel, hyper-local, and employ about 4,000 people, of which about 800 are pharmacists. Primarily, we are a group of 4,000 spirited salesmen. That's how I would want to describe my company.
Thank you so much, Gulshan sir. So let's immediately jump into the context. Today's context is how we can amplify the employee productivity using learning technology. So just to set the context, post-COVID world, there are a few things that happen interestingly. The first thing is the entire philosophy around event-based learning. That means getting people into a classroom and teaching went out. Today, learning is all about continuous learning, micro-learning, experiential learning. So that's one trend that we have noticed. Second is we heard a lot of retailers today talk about everyone wants to become a tech-enabled organization. We request the retailers, while you use technology for your business, you should also use data and technology to create personalized learning pathways for your people based on the skill gaps that they have. So that's the second point. The third point that I want to leave is in any learning technology, adoption is the biggest problem. Ability to track productivity and outcome is very, very difficult. So it's extremely important that the learning agenda should be driven by the CEO or the founder's office, which basically means you track what percentage of your revenue is put back in training and learning your organization, tracking what percentage of the investment is resulting into the productivity. So I want to leave these 2 or 3 thoughts in your mind. Keeping that context in mind, I want to first give the first question to Gulshan sir. Gulshan sir, during COVID, what are the 1 or 2 challenges or the biggest pain points that you noticed as far as the employee productivity was concerned?
Thank you, Guljeet. Is there an echo that you can hear?
I was able to.
Okay, is it clearer anymore? I think there are any other device we have connected from 2 devices.
No, sir.
No, no? Okay.
Now it's clear.
Yeah. So, Kuljeet ji, see, we are a growing company. We are an aspirational company, and our customers are aspirational. Now, we want to grow more number of stores, which means to see the gross number of people that we are going to hire are going to be unprecedented in our history. That means every year we are going to hire and train more number of people than any given year before. And which means to say we are going to be a company that's going to be in uncharted waters every day, every year. So the gross amount of work that we are handling, and so therefore expecting the same result from different result from the same input is not really going to work. The problems that we were facing was the onboarding time. So, we are a pharmacy. That means when we sell medicines, our company has to be accurate 100% of the times throughout our life cycle. Even one mistake in dispensing a medicine is not kind of tolerable, So one of the problems we were facing, that, when your bulk hiring happens, is there an eco now?
No, there's no eco.
So when a bulk hiring happens, then, and if you are training them everything in a classroom or maybe some digital tool, if you do not have a distinction about who's learning, who's not learning, and from push based training, how can I make pull based training, and from learning ability, how do I measure learning curiosity? And what happens is that online, when we teach people, then we would want to leave a positive image and a positive image of the company. As a result, what happens is that people who understood well are wanting to implement, and people who never understood well, and third, people who don't have an attitude to learn, all get kind of equally get gratified. Now, what that does is gratifying a person who's not learning is the best way to de-incentivize a person who's learning. Right from the day one, at the inception in the company, if the learning module is designed such that it is not making a distinction between a learner and a non-learner, or it is not able to, kind of identify the lack of attitude or learning curiosity, then what you are injecting as a DNA in the organization unknowingly is, yahan to kya seekhega ya nahi seekhega, it is same. Or you perform or not perform, it is same. Everybody gets the same salary and everybody gets clapped for, So that is the major challenge, in my opinion, when we scale up hiring.
So, Gulshan sir, what I heard you is a couple of interesting points. I think there's an echo again. I think the first part you talked about is the challenge around the sheer size of the workforce. And because of that, the entire piece on creating what we could call a very smooth or zero touch onboarding. So one problem revolved around, because of the sheer size, the entire challenges around product on the onboarding. That's one. The second problem that you articulated is, how can you move from a push-based learning approach to a pull-based learning approach, what you called as curiosity. And the third one, which was very interesting, is you talked about personalization. It's a person who is interested, feed him more content, relevant content. So keeping this in mind, can you articulate how did you solve this problem?
So we, sat with some, learning experts, and we devised a program called Get and Set. When a person joins the company for 90 days, he's on an electronic tool, including a OJT or an on-job training, as well as the classroom training, are designed in a module called Get. 90 days, we are able to not only see as to how much learning is he doing, but also how much content he is on his own pulling, how many modules he is finishing, and then we have devised certain algorithms and certain data where we are able to measure his learning curiosity. And more importantly, we are able to, aid the right kind of input, which means to say, if there are 100 people that join today, on the 15th day of the training, all 15 don't get the same kind of a content. On a 30th day, all 30 don't get the same kind of content. So that is our Get journey. Bigger problem, Kuljit ji, happens is, after 3 months, when they go onto the floor, when they get lost into the crowd of 4,000 people. And then we really do not know whether they are actually able to deliver what they were trained for, and whether there is an inefficiency sitting there, So for that, we have designed something called as a set journey. Now, in the set journey, it measures two things. One is he able to deliver what he was trained for? Second, the learning curiosity, and more importantly, the learning attitude. And from 3 months, as he goes on to 6 months, from 6 months as he goes on to 9 months, whether serially what he is learning and what he is delivering and what he was, the purpose for which he was hired for, whether that is actually sequentially, moving forward. And as I said earlier, so these 100 people, even in the 6th month, would get a different content depending on what they are currently delivering, what are the weaknesses that they are showing, and what are the training needs that algorithmically and AI-based engine they are able to understand that his training needs are. And therefore, maybe as you may call it as personalization, I would call it as, in a classroom, we call it as a personal attention, or we call it as extra classes, or we call it tuition. So that is something that we have built in a set journey. And this set journey continues for the life cycle of the employee, because we believe that learning is a continuous tool. Learning or a desire to learn, behavioral change, or desire to grow only keeps on growing as the person becomes more and more learned. The more you consume learning, the more you know how little you know and how much more is there to know. And so therefore,
So very, very interesting question, sir. I really like that name, Get and Set. Clearly demarcating the first 30, 60, and 90 days of the employee during his onboarding phase. And Set, I also like to talk about certain things about lifelong learning and continuous learning. I think that those two topics really resonated with me. I also like the ability of you during your conversation around the Set. You also spoke about evaluating whether the training is translating into a work behavior. I think that was a very, very valuable point. So taking that point further, now that you have a Get program defined, you had a Set program defined. The key question that every CEO asks us is, how do you prove that the return on investment exists on the learning tools they're spending? Unfortunately, till this point, before COVID, everyone used to see a learning solution like a health pill, like a vitamin, not like a painkiller. But post-COVID, we have started seeing that people are realizing that it's a must-have solution. But how do you track this on a databases using technology? So how do you prove that the people in the Get were productive or people in Set are productive? So would love to hear your ideas on that.
So thanks for that question. Actually, because L&D is delivered by trainers, and trainers historically have been, they evaluate, look at the face of the employee, and they run by gut feeling and how the person responds. And therefore, there has been no measurable way in which you can, sitting in a classroom of did a Set journey. In fact, it was a surprise to me also. So when we sat on writing the learning KPIs, and once in the Get journey, then we decided the KPIs in the Set journey. And what was occurring to us is that so many days we kept on giving education to people without clearly explaining to them that, look, these are the 4 parameters on which you will be measured. These are the 4 parameters that will automatically, the number will change. And then if that is changing, then you are learning. If this is not changing, then your life is also not changing. Okay. And so we have the KPI and skill gap. We sat with our training team, found out a way of measuring it. Every employee in our company sees it on an app, and that app, recalculates the entire thing every week. So the employee has a unique kind of a number every week on 4 or 5 parameters. It can be customer service satisfaction index. It can be learning curiosity index. It can be attendance and time discipline. It can be sales and profitable sales. It can be discipline or manager driven. However, we have started capturing it in an app, and we are able to. And what has happened is that everybody is now running behind improving those KPIs. And what surprisingly we have seen is that if the learning consumption is higher, the KPI is also higher. So there is a kind of a one-to-one kind of a map we are able to see. And so this has been something very fascinating. And initially it looked like a data jargon. But and for us it is a hybrid training. That means to say it is on the app. If you have done a learning course, then on the app only your next classroom becomes available. And in the classroom, when you go and you attend, your QR code presence is there. Every time you attend a classroom, highlights of that classroom are in your journey. So, one of the problem in the classroom, all of us know that you go attend and forget, and here you are able to see the highlights of that class. So, so that's how we are today measuring it. There cannot be a perfect journey. Once you are onto a data kind of a journey, then it will keep on iterating itself.
So Gulshan sir, I really like, you said your output is as good as the input that you give. And what I understood from you is that, you have gone away with the traditional approach of training need analysis. And you have brought in the entire parameter of the business outcome right at the start of the learning. So what I understood is very interesting. You said that you have pretty much defined a KPI for every employee. You also have evaluated the skill gaps for every employee, which a person is able to see it within their app itself. And looking at both these parameters, which could be in the form of a potential, which is the skill gap, and performance, which is in the form of a KPI, it's automatically stitching in a journey. And as they are consuming this, you also mentioned that you are able to see a one-to-one correlation between as he's learning, the KPIs are either improving. Very well done. So I think that's a very, very interesting approach. Last question, Gulshan sir. Can you talk? When I see Wellness Forever, or whenever I come to your office, one of the general feeling or the culture of the company that I see is more about innovation. Every time I meet a founder of Wellness, they're always talking about, we're innovating on this level, we're innovating on that level. Can you talk about one or two examples, or probably one example, because we just have 3 minutes left, and we'll take some questions from the audience also. One innovation on the learning and development that you have bought in, where you're extremely proud of?
So we are extremely about, not very proud. It's not good to be proud as a retailer. Okay. Ek Shuruaat, okay, is a morning huddle we have introduced. It is a that goes every single day. And I'm very happy to tell you 90% of the organization consumes it. It is a change management tool. It is a culture setting tool. It is a counseling tool. It is, I go, I will talk to my employee for 5 minutes, So, or sometimes we will play music. Some other time we will talk about values. Some other time we will talk about employee gratification rewards and everything. So therefore, we feel, on every forum you will say that communicate. Okay, we have found out क्या बोलते हैं ना उसको, secret sauce. Okay, 5 minutes you communicate effectively on audio visual. In fact, in our this thing company, there is even a rating for that Ek Shuruaat. So that's a 5-minute huddle. And I would really advise my fellow retailers to try it. And every morning, if you're able to communicate something effectively, which is the today's need, just like in physical stores, we used to do a 5-minute, वो सब खड़े रह के साथ में ना वो करते थे हम लोग, morning को start करने के पहले briefing. And now that we have converted in 5 minutes, we have named it as Ek Shuruaat, and extremely happy for it.
Very, very interesting. And Gulshan sir, that brings me, I was seeing a podcast by a McKinsey partner today morning, where he was talking about learning is like going to the gym. You go to the gym every day to build your muscles. So, you can't be in a position where you're skipping learning for one day. So I think Ek Shurwaat is one, that option. It's like you're going to the gym every day to actually build your learning muscle. So that's very, very interesting. So Gulshan sir, we're just going to summarize because there are only few minutes left. And then we can take, I think there's only one question from the audience. So what I heard you say that, the biggest problem with respect to the problem that you've articulated is around, because of the sheer size of Wellness Forever, there are two problem statements. One is on the onboarding, because the attrition is high. You want to ensure that the onboarding experience is seamless and it's data and tech led. And second, you talked about the learning should be more pull based and personalized. And vis-a-vis this, you have crafted two interesting programs. One is the GET program and the SET program. And GET program is pretty much like a zero-touch onboarding experience, which is fully digital, which includes e-learning, it includes attendance, it includes OJT, manager feedback, buddy evaluation, all of that. And the SET journey is more around the KPIs that have been defined with every person and the skill gaps that have been defined with every person. And based on these two parameters, the personalization kicks in. And for you, the key parameters on the productivity that you track is the time to productivity of the onboarding piece. And for the SET journey, it's pretty much about ensuring that the KPIs and the skill gaps are getting addressed. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Sir, we have one question on the forum, which says, how do you deal with missing personal touch in training initiative using technology? Have your people ever mentioned that they find tech-based learning impersonal?
We started on that assumption that it will become impersonal. But the kind of content, if you put a live content, you're talking to your people kind of live, if you make it interactive, if if your own people are also giving a reverse communication by their videos, something we call it as a closed loop learning. That's a discussion for another day. Yes, I would want to summarize that. To begin with, you can start with an hypothesis that when you are seeing each other on video, it can be very impersonal. But I think there are too many today means and tools by which you can really overcome that.
Thank you, Gulshan sir. Thank you all the audience and RAI for this opportunity. I hope we were able to add some value.
Make wellness grow.
Thank you, sir.